This night on Oak Island was something different. The air was completely still, but it felt like a muted heartbeat deep underground. Rick Lagina himself stood quietly, the same old scan report in his hand, a strange tension on his face, as if he were about to reveal something to the world that had been hidden for years. And when he finally said, "Yes, the vault is real," the entire camp literally froze. Just think. This is the same place where thousands of digs have been conducted over the past 200 years, costing millions of dollars, but no one has ever confirmed such a huge claim. Rick says that AI 3D models and deep-density scans have detected a massive sealed chamber below, approximately 40 by 60 feet, inside which metal reflection was so strong that engineers estimated, "This is not a signal from something natural. This is an engineered vault." And by this calculation, its estimated value reaches approximately $150 million. Man, $150 million. This isn't just any small treasure. It's literally a moment that could change the entire history of Oak Island. But the story doesn't end there. Rick's second hint stunned the entire team. He said that Templar-style geometric patterns and unnatural perfect angles were found on the vault's outer wall, which are not easily created even with modern tools. The meaning is clear. This place isn't just filled with gold. It was built for a purpose. And brother, one thing is clear. If you miss this reveal, you'll miss out on Oak Island's biggest truth. Subscribe, because what might come out in the next update might change the history books of the entire world. The story of Oak Island isn't just a few years old. It's a mystery spanning 2 centuries, nearly 200 years. Over the years, countless teams have visited, explorers have tried their luck, and money has been poured into this tiny island. According to historical reports, different generations together spent over $50 million, but no one has ever found the main vault that was often talked about in legends. People have speculated that perhaps the vault doesn't exist. Perhaps it's just a myth. Or perhaps the one that was built has simply been left undiscovered. This frustration has often led to Oak Island being called the world's most unsolved dig site. But why hasn't anyone been able to detect such a large vault for so many years? The biggest reason for this was the limitations of technology. In ancient times, excavations used wooden shafts, basic drilling, and guesswork. If there were engineered traps, fake tunnels, or significant soil distortion, readings would naturally become confusing. Often, a single drill at the wrong angle would ruin an entire season. Because of this, every team felt like they could go just a foot or two longer. But the vault never appeared. The island seemed to protect its own secrets. This is why Oak Island gradually became a place that inspires both hope and excitement, as well as fear. Now, 200 years later, the scene has completely changed, and this change has been brought about by modern technology. For the first time, the island was digitally scanned in depth, and the most shocking detail emerged from it: a perfect 40 cubed 60 feet cavity. This size is so large that nature could not have created it randomly. The cavity's depth, shape, and uniform density readings throughout indicate that this was not a natural sinkhole or cavity. It was designed and created by someone. This was the moment that gave a new direction to the entire 200-year search. AI 3D scan, the game-changer moment. An AI 3D scan revealed the world beneath Oak Island for the first time, as if the ground had been made transparent. Modern depth models revealed a pattern previously unnoticed, a chamber with a perfect rectangular geometry beneath. No natural formation could have such straight boundaries and clean symmetry. When engineers saw the raw scan data, their first reaction was, "Guys, this looks completely man-made." This line sent shockwaves through the entire team. The AI scan readings revealed the cavity's height and width to be in almost exact proportion, a rare occurrence in nature. The cavity's corners were also found to be near 90 degrees, indicating a degree of architectural precision. This suggests that whoever built this vault possessed highly advanced engineering knowledge for the time. A thin metallic reflection belt was found surrounding the cavity, possibly outer reinforcement. This also suggests that the structure was designed not just to hide gold, but for long-term sealing. What surprised the engineers most was the density consistency. If it were a natural cave, the density would show variations throughout. Somewhere loose soil, somewhere hard rock, somewhere moisture pockets. But here the readings were perfectly balanced, as if someone had first excavated the area, then recompacted and sealed it with material. The team compared this pattern to medieval European vaults, and, shockingly, many places matched, especially Templar-era storage chambers. The most significant hallmark of this vault found beneath Oak Island was its metal reflection density. When the AI depth scan first sent readings, sensors detected an extremely strong metallic signature, so strong that engineers initially thought the machine was glitching. But rescanning from multiple angles yielded the same result. The metal reflection was so thick and wide that it was clear that there was a major structure underneath, not just scattered metal pieces. The thickness readings were most shocking. Sensors showed that the cavity's outer layer was uniformly metallic for approximately 3 to 5 inches. Nature never creates such a clean metal lining. Experts suggested it was likely a layered material, an outer iron-like protection, and a gold-silver mixture within. Readings with mixed metallic banding suggest that the items stored inside the chamber are not just one type, but a large collection of metallic objects with varying densities. This was the point where the calculations took a sharp leap. Now the question arose, how was its value estimated at 150 million? Experts based their conclusion on 3 factors. First, the size of the cavity, 40,060 feet, which is an insanely large vault. Second, high-density metal nodes inside the cavity, indicating a large amount of heavy metal stored in compact form. Third, the intensity of the reflection, characteristic of pure or near-pure metals. When these readings were merged and economic models were run, the result was approximately in the 120 meters to 180 meters range. The median value, 150 million, was presented to the team. When Rick saw this data, he was literally stunned. This was the first time an estimate on Oak Island had been based on such a solid scientific foundation. The crew also realized that if these readings were real, then there wasn't just treasure hidden beneath, perhaps an entire Templar-grade engineered chamber. The whole story became even more mysterious when Emma and Katya conducted a midnight secret scan session without announcement. After the heavy equipment shut down, the island was completely silent. Only a light breeze and the sound of the distant ocean. In the same environment, the two conducted a high-resolution thermal and geometric scan, and the readings that came back literally changed everything. First, they found an unusual heat pocket near the cavity. Such stable heat is not found in any natural formation. The heat pocket could indicate a sealed atmosphere inside the vault, undisturbed for centuries. This type of thermal signature is found in old European sealed chambers, which have been closed without air for hundreds of years. Emma immediately called Katya, and the two checked the geometric lines. As the refined scan ran, perfect straight lines began to emerge from the bottom. Lines so clean and symmetrical that Emma's first reaction was, "This is architectural, not natural." Katya mapped the shape, and the pattern that emerged was even more shocking. Corner-to-corner diagonals formed a Templar-style cross-symmetry. A similar four-axis symmetry is seen in medieval vaults and Templar storage rooms. It was such a rare match that the two verified the data 3 times. Each time, the same perfect geometry appeared. Now it was clear that the vault wasn't just a large cavity. It was a consciously designed structure. When the AI scan clearly revealed the symmetry of the cavity below, Rick's eyes widened in shock, a quality no one had ever seen before. The reason was simple. The perfect cross-angle geometry visible inside the cavity was exactly the same as that found in ancient European Templar vaults. Nature never creates such precise 90-degree symmetry and corner-to-corner cross patterns. But here, every measurement was almost mathematically correct. Rick was literally speechless for a few seconds after seeing this. When Emma compared this geometry with ancient European carving styles, the match was even stronger. In the medieval era, the Templars used a unique 4-axis cross layout, where every part of the structure was aligned in a specific direction. The Oak Island scan also revealed the alignment of the cavity in a similar pattern, as if it were built with a precise compass orientation. This detail is so rare that only a few preserved Templar vaults in the world have such a pattern. The real source of shock came when Katya opened some old Knights Templar navigation maps on her tablet, dating back to the 1300s, 1400s. The geometric symbols on those maps, triangular notches, cross-axis marks, and rectangular chambers, some of them were disturbingly similar to the scan of Oak Island. Rick, noticing this similarity, took a step back and exclaimed, "If this is truly Templar engineering, then this isn't just a treasure vault, it's a hidden chapter in history." The team suddenly realized that this place wasn't just built for gold or artifacts. The Templars often kept sensitive items, documents, relics, and sealed chests in such vaults. This explains Rick's reaction, because if the geometry matches, it means centuries-old European builders were present in North America, even before official history. The most frightening part of Oak Island has always been its flood tunnel system. Over the past 200 years, many explorers have been trapped in this trap. As someone increased their digging depth, seawater would suddenly fill the entire shaft, so rapidly that people could not even find an escape route. The cause of this sudden water rise has not been 100% proven, but many experts believe it to be an engineered trap, something deliberately designed to prevent anyone from reaching the vault. In the 1400s, Templar and medieval European builders constructed water-based defense systems, stone channels, pressure tunnels, and self-flooding traps. Oak Island's tunnels also exhibit similar unnatural patterns: straight angles, long-distance channels, and same-depth connections that nature typically doesn't create. This raises a major question. Is the vault below protected not by a natural collapse, but by a purpose-built booby trap? Rick is always afraid of a flood tunnel. His team has encountered narrow escapes before. Sometimes the water level suddenly jumped just seconds after drilling. New scans have also detected moisture pockets and thin water channels on the vault's northeast side. Engineers say that if drilling is done in the wrong place, the entire shaft could suddenly become inundated, and the structure below is at risk of collapse. This fact alone makes digging 10x more dangerous. The flood tunnel theory is further strengthened by the failures of previous explorers. Several teams in the 1800s claimed that just as they were reaching something solid, the tunnels suddenly collapsed and flooded everything. This pattern seems suspiciously engineered, as if someone installed an automatic defense system to keep the vault inaccessible for centuries. Oak Island's excavation team often works at night, but something that's happened over the past few days has unnerved the entire crew. Suddenly, unmarked black SUVs began appearing near the island's causeway at night. No official license plates, no logos, just dark-tinted windows and slow, silent patrolling. The crew initially thought they were random visitors, but when the SUVs started appearing in the same exact spot on different nights, their suspicions grew. Those inside wouldn't come out. They would simply stare at the excavation lights from a distance and then quietly leave. Island restrictions also began increasing around the same time. A temporary access limit was imposed in some areas, and officials gave a vague reason: safety protocols. But the team realized this was just a cover-up explanation. The first SUV was spotted the same evening. Emma confirmed the Templar-style geometry. Was this a coincidence? Many fans don't believe it. The crew also felt the government might already know something, or the scan data somehow got to them. Rick personally found this all suspicious. Government presence on Oak Island isn't common, and when it does exist, it's often accompanied by clear identification. But here, the entire operation was shadow-style. Low headlights, silent engines, and strategic stopping points. It seemed as if they were observing a specific signal or anomaly. At times, it seemed as if the SUVs stopped at the exact spot where the vault's cavity point was found in the scan. This behavior deepened the mystery. Deep borehole testing is the most critical moment of excavation, because this is where we first discover what truly lies beneath. The team set the high-strength drill to the exact coordinates of the cavity's upper boundary. Cameras were turned on, all machinery descended in slow motion, and the crew stood with bated breath. A few seconds later, the drill began soil penetration. First soft layers, then some hard clay. Everything seemed normal. But as the depth increased, a sharp clang sound suddenly appeared, so loud that the boom mic was distorted. The vibration in the drill's handle was so strong that the operator stepped back. The camera even shook for a second. This sound wouldn't have come from hitting ordinary rock. The engineers immediately looked at the monitor and said, "Guys, this is definitely metal. And this isn't a loose object. This is a solid structure." After the clang, the drill's penetration stopped, as if there was a hard plate underneath. When they checked the torque reading, they discovered the resistance was at an unnatural level. Stone doesn't offer such consistent resistance. This meant there was some fabricated material underneath, man-made, engineered, and intentionally placed. This was the moment that factually confirmed to the entire team that the vault wasn't just a legend. It was a real, constructed chamber. After the clang, when engineers extracted a drill core sample, the material that emerged seemed unusual. It was neither pure stone nor pure metal. It was a composite material containing both stone-like particles and thin metallic flakes. Such a mixture does not form naturally. This type of reinforced composite was used in medieval Europe to ensure vaults remained intact for centuries. This could mean that the vault was intentionally built with multi-layered protection. Laser scans also confirmed this. The surface of the vault wall appeared unnaturally smooth, as if someone had polished it with tools. Natural caves or stone formations tend to have uneven smoothness, but here the readings were completely uniform. This led experts to speculate that the inner part of the wall was likely metal-plated and the outer part a compact stone composite. This type of dual-layer construction was often used to protect high-value relics or gold chests. When Emma isolated the wall's metallic signature, the readings revealed a consistent thickness pattern, about 3 to 4 inches of reinforced plate. This thickness closely matches medieval Templar vault protection. Such vaults were designed to protect the contents for centuries from any invasion attempt, moisture leak, or collapse. The Oak Island wall reflected that same engineering, precision, purpose, and protection. When the core sample emerged after the drill contact, Rick first took it in his hands and examined it. The fine gray dust in the sample looked nothing like ordinary soil. Emma immediately placed it under a microscope. Analysis revealed that the dust was not organic but centuries-old, decomposed composite material, with scans dating back to around 1400 AD. This meant the chamber represented the era when the Templars were carrying out their most secret missions in Europe. That was the moment when a different seriousness came into Rick's eyes. Rick took a deep breath and said, "Guys, this doesn't look like a treasure room at all. This is something else." His voice was heavy, as if he wasn't just talking about gold, but hinting at a secret that could change the course of history. The dust composition revealed trace metals, old resin particles, and unusual binding minerals. Clearly, this was a purpose-built, engineered chamber, not a natural cave or accidental space. This meant that the builders had intentionally built this vault to keep it sealed and protected for centuries. Emma explained that the resin traces resembled the same compounds used for sealing in medieval Europe. This further strengthened Rick's suspicion. The vault was probably built not just to hide wealth, but to contain something that shouldn't be lost. Rick whispered, "If this were treasure, it wouldn't be hidden so deep, with so much engineering. It could also be a knowledge vault." The next morning, Marty Lagina arrived with an old leather-bound folder in his hand. He had obtained this folder from a confidential archive room in Canada, where centuries-old exploration maps are preserved. He placed it on the table and opened it. Inside was a faded but extremely rare French exploration map, dating from around the 1600s, officially considered lost many years ago. The map bore some extremely strange symbols: cross marks, spiral lines, and a rectangular box with the words "Ingress Point, Forbidden," written in faint ink. Rick's face changed as he glanced at the map. The rectangular box on the map was in the same coordinate range where the current AI scan had shown the cavity. This meant that European explorers had hinted at this secret structure centuries ago. A heated discussion ensued between Marty and Rick. Rick argued that the map was proof that the vault had been known for a long time, while Marty insisted that the map only hinted, not revealed the full location. The spiral symbols on the map were also extremely unsettling. Katya explained that these symbols also appear in old Templar manuscripts and are called restricted pathways symbols. This could mean that the vault doesn't just open from the top, but also has a hidden ingress route that no one can find without reading the correct symbol. Marty said to Rick, "If this is what I'm thinking, we're trying to open the vault from the wrong place." As drilling progressed near the vault, the scanner suddenly detected a very unusual sound. A low-frequency hum, around 18-20 Hz. This sound is inaudible to the human ear, but the body senses it. This frequency is also called the fear frequency, because it can naturally cause anxiety and uneasiness. The team first perceived it lightly, as if there were a slow vibration beneath the ground. Emma immediately rechecked the scanner, and the reading was the same. The closer they got to the cavity, the stronger the hum became. Crew members reported feeling a slight tightness in their chests and pressure in their heads. This was no normal geological vibration. It was controlled, steady, and disturbingly rhythmic. Similar frequency traps have been found in some ancient structures around the world, designed to scare or repel intruders. Cameras also began to glitch as they approached this frequency. Sudden flickers, frame drops, and static noise appeared in the footage. This phenomenon is usually caused by magnetic interference, but here the cavity is metal-plated, so the interference was probably coming from the engineered structure itself. Rick's voice softened. "This doesn't sound natural. It sounds designed. The low-frequency hum momentarily shook the team's confidence. A discussion began among the crew. Is the vault not just hidden, but also protected? Some people started to back away, but Rick remained calm and said, "We're here to uncover the truth. If someone designed it so thoroughly to hide it, there must be something extraordinary inside." When the drill first made metallic contact, the team began controlled excavation at the site. The idea was to brush away some of the topsoil to see what the structure actually looked like underneath. Emma and Katya took out ultra-fine sand-brushing tools, the same tools used on very delicate archaeological sites. As they removed the soil, a smooth, curved surface gradually emerged. The surface was so polished that even the slightest brush stroke would create a metallic echo. The team literally felt as if they were uncovering the wall of an ancient vault. After some more brushing, a clean metallic corner appeared, so perfect, so straight, that the crew stared at it for a few seconds. Nature never creates such a perfect shape. The edges of the metallic corner weren't razor-sharp, but for something centuries old, it was in unbelievable condition. As the soil was removed, faint lines also became visible on its surface, perhaps carvings or alignment marks, often used in medieval engineering. The most shocking moment came when Katya took out the thermal gun and ran a surface scan. The left corner of the metallic door was about 2 to 3 degrees warmer than the rest of the soil. This meant that the atmosphere inside was still slightly active despite being sealed. Or perhaps some thermal insulation was still working inside the chamber. The heat shift reading was so unusual that the engineers immediately called for a pause, as it could mean that the air pressure inside was different or that a resonance effect was at play. When the metallic corner of the first chamber was confirmed, the team thought this was Oak Island's biggest secret. But the AI model suddenly revealed another shocking discovery. Another anomaly 40 feet deeper directly below the first chamber. This second chamber was about 3 times larger than the first, and the density reading was double the intensity. This meant that the cavity below wasn't just larger, it was likely the actual vault. When Emma ran a deeper scan, the cavity's outline resembled a massive rectangular structure, the length and depth of which matched medieval fortress-style storage rooms. Several readings were so heavy that the sensors had to be recalibrated. Katya quietly said, "If the lower chamber is that big, then it's probably the central vault. We're just at the entry room right now." Rick's mind raced. The design of the first chamber was probably meant to confuse visitors, or it was some kind of decoy vault. The Templars often built multi-layered vaults, where the real relics or gold were kept in a deeper hidden chamber, and the upper chamber served only as a protective shell. The AI data supported exactly this theory. The entire team stood in front of the metallic door, waiting for the first chamber to partially open. And the giant outline of the deeper vault flashed on the AI screen below. This was the first time Oak Island had revealed only a small part of its most guarded secret. But the real truth was still buried 40 feet deep. There was both excitement and fear in the air, because the bigger the vault, the greater the risk. Rick glanced at the team and then at the polished metallic corner where sand brushing had revealed centuries-old engineering to the world for the first time. His face was a mixture of shock, respect, and curiosity. He said softly, "If this is just the first vault, the real truth is still buried beneath." There was a weight in his voice that made the crew's breath stop. This wasn't just excavation. It was a journey toward the world's oldest, most dangerous secret. The crew was slowly packing up equipment, but everyone's eyes were fixed on the glowing outline of the deeper anomaly. Everyone felt that what they had just seen was just the beginning. The next reveal might change not only Oak Island's history, but the world's history. Emma said quietly, "If the deeper vault is opened, everything will be rewritten." Brother, subscribe. If you miss the next reveal, the world will see Oak Island's biggest truth before you. This line isn't just a request, it's a warning. Because what is going to be revealed in the next episode will be the cruelest, biggest twist of the 200-year search.